So back in 2009, I was in a movie called Beyond the Secret, which was the follow-up movie to the big hit movie, The Secret, with Bob Proctor and other speakers. So this movie starred Bob Proctor, Les Brown, myself, Mary Morrissey, and some other speakers. So we all filmed for the movie in separate locations around the world. And then about 6 months later, we all came together at UCLA in Los Angeles at Royce Hall. And we had 2,000 people in the live audience. And the movie was coming out that night. And we were broadcasting at Royce Hall in front of 2,000 people, the 10 speakers that were in this movie. And we were broadcasting to 100,000 people around Canada in movie theaters all over Canada and the United States. So we were seated in a semicircle on the stage at Royce Hall, and Larry King, the great interviewer, was supposed to interview us, but he got called to the White House with President Obama, and he had to leave. And so Lisa Gibbons from Hollywood Entertainment Tonight, all those talk shows, took over. And so I was seated on the end of the semicircle with Les Brown, and Bob Proctor was in the middle. So long story short, we all rehearsed backstage, at Royce Hall, probably for 5 or 6 hours that day. Mark Victor Hansen came by. He's a local there. He came by to talk to us for a while, and the press was there, and there were thousands of people in the audience, and we're kind of all getting ready. And since Les Brown and I were sitting next to each other, we were kind of working together on different things and kind of rehearsing little things we could do during the interview and all that. And this movie was predicted to make hundreds of millions of dollars. It didn't end up doing that, but it was predicted to because of The Secret's massive global success, with over 500 million people watching that movie over a course of so many years, and 25 million books being sold and all that. So the story is, we're backstage, and there was a young speaker with us. I forget his name, otherwise I'd say his name. He was a younger speaker who was very, very nervous. And we were all lined up to go on stage, and Lisa Gibbons was introducing us one by one. And so Les Brown was in front of me, and I was standing there in the line, and the younger speaker, who I don't remember his name, but otherwise I'd say it, he was very, very nervous, and he was standing behind me. And Les Brown is jumping up and down. And I've worked with Les before, and he has this ritual he does, or the times I worked with him he does, where he jumps up and down, he does push-ups backstage, and he gets himself kind of fired up to do the speech. And he's told me in the past it helps him with, just calm his nerves down. So Les is jumping up and down as Lisa Gibbons is introducing us, and one by one the speakers are going on stage. And so the younger speaker behind me was watching Les Brown jump up and down. He says, Mr. Brown, he said, do you have stage fright? Are you nervous? Is that why you're jumping up and down? And Les just kept jumping up and down. He said, just concerned. He's kind of panting a little bit. He goes, I'm just concerned. He's shaking his hands like this. I'm just concerned. And the kid said, what are you concerned about? And Les was kind of running out of breath. So he said, concerned. Steve, tell him why. And I said, because anything can happen in front of a live audience. And I hope that kid never forgot it. I know I never forgot what Les said, because that I knew he was thinking that, because every speaker that works a lot knows that you can be totally prepared, ready for an audience, 10,000 people, 20,000 people. Les and I have worked in front of 17,000 people before, 10,000 people together. Bob Proctor and I worked in front of 20,000 people, 15,000 people, and we've also worked small crowds, of course, like every speaker. But the larger the crowd, the more unsure you are in terms of things that can go wrong. It just covers the gamut. It runs the gamut. I've had people die in the audience. I've had earthquakes during my speeches. One time we were working in Vegas with Brian Tracy and Chet Holmes, and Chet was alive, and I forget who else. Don Hudson, I believe, was there. Great speakers, phenomenal people. And the lights, Chet Holmes was speaking, and the lights just went out. I'm talking about 5,000 people on the Strip in Vegas at MGM or one of the hotels on the Strip, I forget. But I can tell you stories, and every speaker can tell you stories about how things go wrong. But Les Brown was exactly right. And I knew he was thinking it, because we all think it. Yes, you're prepared. You're over-prepared. That's how you overcome stage fright initially. But then, right before you go on, Les has that ritual. I have other rituals that we talk about in another video. Other speakers do. There's no right or wrong, of course, whatever works for you. But just understand, no matter how prepared you are for the speech, and you should be over-prepared like most of us are, anything can happen in front of a live audience. And that's why we over-prepare, and then we pray because we're out there without a net, just a microphone and an audience in front of us, nowhere to hide, nowhere to run. We pray it goes in the direction that we want it to go.